What are those classic signs? Fear of losing his lover, his girlfriend, lack of trust, anger at the real or imagined attention that others gave her. Even if her girlfriends would lift her up, he was angered by that. If some gentleman, somebody else said something nice to her, he was angered by that. The need to control the one that he thought was going to become his loved one. Even the flowers were a time-honored mate retention strategy that he read in some book. But it was the kind that kicked off, was motivated by jealousy. And although we're more inclined to associate jealousy with negative tactics, he went from vigilance to violence. And now he wanted to lock her up and just get her out of every situation. And thankfully, she was able to break it off. And we may be in a marriage relationship where some of these kinds of, where the spirit of jealousy and envy exists. And through the power and the grace of God, he can get rid of it. He can get rid of this envy and jealousy out of our lives so that we can be free from these things. And so let's take a look at just a second. What's the difference? I mean, because a lot of people think envy and jealousy are kind of the same. The words are almost used synonymously. But there is a difference between envy and jealousy. Jealousy arises when a relationship is infringed on by something or somebody who threatens to take away something or somebody that you feel is, in a sense, rightfully yours. Now, if it's a marriage relationship, that relationship, because you have a covenant relationship with one another, that's a right that relationship and that person is rightfully in relationship with you. But it doesn't always have to be in a marriage relationship. We can actually be jealous of somebody else's relationship. And you think that kind of relationship is rightfully yours. You can be jealous of how somebody's treating somebody else. And you think, well, that's the way I should be treated. And so this jealousy thing goes kind of deep, but it's based upon when something happens and you're sensing that in your spirit, you're sensing that your relationship is infringed upon because of what somebody said or did. And it's rightfully yours. That relationship is rightfully yours. So that's jealousy. Now, how does envy differ from jealousy? Envy arises when another person possesses some trait or possesses some object, like a car or whatever, house, that you want, you wish you had, or you wish that they didn't have. In other words, somebody buys a new car and you go, well, why did they do that? You know, couldn't they have used that money for a greater purpose? That's envy.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Who are we to judge that? Somebody buys a new car and envy rises up and you go, man, I wish I drove a car like that. That's envy, because you're wishing that you had something somebody else has. This envy thing can go kind of deep, but basically what happens is it causes you to be discontent with what you have. You all of a sudden get a sense of inferiority because you don't have what somebody else has. And it causes a frustration inside of you because it's a discontentment with where you're at because so-and-so has thus. They've got a better style of living. They've got better situation. They've got better friends. They've got better family. And all of a sudden you're comparing yourself and you're looking at them and you're constantly viewing other people or their things out of your viewpoint, out of your situation. And this envy is something that we need to understand what the source of that is so that we can deal with that and not walk in it. Let's say a woman sees another woman and they look at her hair and they look at that person's hair and they go, wow, I wish I had hair like that. What is that? Is that jealousy? Or is that envy?
Neither. Might be just appreciating something beautiful.
I
Why would that be?
think there's a line. Isn't there a line that you cross over?
Okay.
Coveting. Isn't it coveting?
So, is it
Covetousness?
Yeah. I wish I had hair like that. Is different than saying, I deserve to have hair like that.
Right.
Oh, okay. There's the, yeah.
Jealousy would say, that's mine. I used to have hair like that and I need hair like that. And I'm jealous of what they've got because I should have that.
Lord, please provide.
Well, take your pencil away. Done.
But envy says, oh wow, look at how great their hair looks. Oh wow, I wish I had hair that looks like that. Envy is different because you're now wishing you had something that somebody else has to be yours, where jealousy says it's rightfully yours. So jealousy says it's rightfully yours. Envy says, I wish I had it. So anyway, there's a difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is a relationship, usually that we're jealous of a relationship. Envy is many times revolving around things or people or what they possess or their status in life or what they've done to be successful in life. And so we can be envious of somebody else, but it's not rightfully yours. You didn't earn it, but I'm envious of it. Whereas jealousy says, I did earn it, I don't have it, and I want it. A right relationship with the wife causes intimacy, and when it's not right, it's jealousy. But envy says, here I am married to my wife, and now all of a sudden I wish I had a marriage like theirs. That's not rightfully yours. You catch the difference? Okay. Tell me which one this one is. There's an astronaut in 2007, her name was Lisa Nowak. At the age of 44, she drove 1,000 miles nonstop from Houston, Texas to Orlando, Florida with a diaper on in order to kidnap the new girlfriend that the fellow astronaut that she went to in space with whom she had had an affair. And she wanted to kidnap this girlfriend that the astronaut has. Sometimes these impulses of jealousy can cause you to do loony things. Imagine driving 1,000 miles with a diaper on. In fact, jealousy is the leading cause of homicide in this country.
Wow.
That's how bad jealousy can be. As a complex state, at a minimum, it causes distressing feelings such as fear, abandonment. What if they end up leaving me? What happens if they go somewhere else? What about me type attitudes? sorrow, anger, betrayal, envy, frustration, humiliation. It recruits the cognitive processes gone awry, like doubt, to preoccupation with a partner's faithlessness. And now all of a sudden all I'm thinking about is their faithlessness. That's all I can think about is how faithless somebody is. And I've taken my thought processes and now I'm preoccupied with that. So there is a difference between envy and jealousy. But biblically, let's take a look at a few verses that talk about envy and jealousy and what it produces. Envy and jealousy actually produces strife. When they're gone, then you get peace. Our goal is to get rid of these things so that we can have peace, not strife in our life. James 3:14-16. But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, lie not against the truth. This wisdom descends not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. For where envying and strife, or selfish ambition is, there is confusion in every evil work. Where, catch this for a minute, where you see envying, there is, in selfish ambition, there is confusion. You ever been confused? There is confusion. I don't know which way to go. I don't know which one's right. And every sort of evil work or practice, and strife and turmoil just happens as a byproduct of having envy or selfish ambitions. In a marriage relationship, we're to have our relationship to be for our spouses. And they shouldn't be envious of some other relationship. They should be we should be going for our spouses. And so where envying and strife is, it causes confusion and all sorts of evil practices. Now catch this. If you ever are asking God, I need wisdom regarding this issue, right? Here's the criterion that you'll look for with regard to this particular decision. The wisdom that's from above is first of all pure, and then it's peaceable. You won't have discord in your heart when you come up with the decision that God would have for you, because there's going to be peace. Debbie and I have a pact, a credo that we go by that says if we don't have peace about the decision, now we've learned this through lots of mistakes, but if we don't have peace about a decision, then we don't do it. We just wait until one of us or both of us get on board and say we have peace about this decision. Because if we're one, we need to have peace about where we're headed.
Amen.
And where I've been so prideful in the past and made decisions and thinking that she just didn't have enough knowledge to make the right decision, I have made some major stupid mistakes. And so we need to have peace together to move forward. And so this wisdom is peaceable, it's gentle, it's easy to be entreated, it's full of mercy and good fruits. I mean, life is great when we're walking in God's wisdom. It's without partiality, it's without hypocrisy, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace to them that make peace. And so all of a sudden, peace becomes our decision. We're heading toward peace in life together. That's a great place to be.